right, welcome back to Open Up's 30-day practice a day. Today we'll be focusing on balance, which certainly is a practice. So don't worry if everything isn't perfect the first time. It's something that I'll continue to practice for the rest of my life, so no pressure. Today we'll be using either a wall for a prop or a chair if you have one handy. So go ahead and gather one or both of those props. Sometimes it's nice to have two options for a little extra balance here. We're going to start standing. So you can either place one hand on the wall or one hand on a chair for support. We'll begin by placing our legs, our feet about hips width in front of us. And then we'll just simply bend one knee, straighten that leg, and then bend the other knee. So as you do this, you're going to come up on the ball of your foot, lifting your heel off the ground, feeling a stretch in your ankle. And just go back and forth, nice and easy. No need to rush this, especially if it's early and it's cold out like it is today. You might feel a little crack and a little pop, so go gentle on yourselves. Ankle mobility is really important because it's the base of many of our balancing poses. So we want to make sure those ankles are nice and warmed up, and it's something we can work on daily. Okay, we're going to move on to the next thing. So go ahead and pause there. Take one of your legs, bend your knee so you're up on the ball of your foot, and we're going to make circular motions using that heel as our leader. So I'm going to go in a clockwise direction, keeping the ball of my foot on the mat the whole time, but using that heel to propel my ankle in a clockwise direction. The knee can come along for the ride, but the movement shouldn't be derived from the knee. Go ahead and reverse that the opposite direction, counterclockwise, so the opposite way that you were going from the beginning. Everyone, start to feel those ankles warming up. Pause there. We're going to switch to the left leg or whichever leg you didn't do first. So go ahead and bend the knee, come up to the ball of the foot, and begin creating a circular motion with your heel to the clockwise direction. Nice and slow. Torso can stay lifted. And reverse direction. I'm hearing a lot of cracks and pops this morning. Nothing too painful though. And pause here. Really nice. Now, keeping one hand either on a chair or at a wall, we're going to lift up onto the balls of our feet with both legs together. So I have my feet about shoulder width apart. You can take yours a little bit wider, a little more narrow, whatever feels good in your body today. Toes are pointed straight ahead. So I'm just going to lift up on the balls of my feet and then lower back down to my heels. Lift up with both legs together, lower back down. Again, lift. You'll also feel this in your calves and your Achilles. So it's a nice stretch for the backs of the legs, the lower part. And lower. All right, for this next one, you're gonna wanna make sure you have a little bit of space to walk. I'm gonna move this chair out of the way here. And I'm going to start at one end of my yoga mat. Your hand can be on a wall if you'd like a little bit of extra support. We are going to walk toe to heel, toe to heel. So place your toes down first, then step onto your heel. Walking the length of our yoga mats or across the room. When you get to the end, go ahead, turn around, face the opposite direction, walking toe to heel. Nice and slow. Try to be dramatic with that movement so you can get a good stretch through the ankles. And when you reach the other side, you can reverse direction. This time we're going to do the opposite, walking heel to toe. So we'll plant our heel down first, foot is flexed up as much as we can towards our face, and then plant our toes down. So heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Very nice. Go back the opposite direction, heel to toe. Again, you can exaggerate this movement. Very nice. Great work, everyone. We're going to next do some lunges. So standing at the back of your mat so that you have a little bit of room here in the front, I'm going to take my right leg wide step forward, and then I'm going to spread my legs out a little bit. So you can wiggle walk your front foot out. Think about you're walking on train tracks versus a tightrope. So giving yourself a little bit wider of a base for some extra balance. This is also a good place to either plant your hand on a wall or have your chair near you. So I'm gonna come up on my back toe, heel is lifted off the ground. You might need to adjust your stance a little bit. And then simply lower your knee towards the mat as you bend into your front knee. So you don't want your knee to go over your toe. It should be about above your ankle. So you may need to adjust your stance in this lunge and then lift up. Lower down into the lunge and lift. That's already a lot of work for the lower portion of our body. Lower down and then lift. Let's switch sides. I'm just gonna turn, place my opposite hand on the mat. This time I'm gonna step my left foot forward, wiggle walk that front foot out a little bit, and then lift onto the ball of my back foot, lower down, and lift. Lower and lift. My torso stays lifted tall, chest is open, shoulders try to pull them away from your ears, and extend. Step your feet together. Nice work, everyone. Hopefully those ankles are feeling a little bit more mobile. And of course, any of those exercises are things you could try every morning when you wake up, just to kind of wake up your body and work towards more mobility in the ankles. We're going to come to stand at the wall, or I'll also show you how we can use a chair here. So plant one hand on the wall or the chair. Step your feet about hips width apart, maybe a little bit wider if you want more of a wide base, perhaps a little bit more narrow. It's just something you might have to play with here. Plant one hand on the top of the chair or on the wall next to you. Toes are going to be facing straight ahead, and we're going to imagine that we're sitting back in a chair that's been placed behind us. I like to reach one arm out in front of me for some added balance as I begin to sink my hips back into that imaginary chair. So think about placing weight in your heels instead of your toes. Maybe you can wiggle your toes and lift your chest up so we're not bending over too much. Let's take an inhale through our nose. Exhale, see if you can sink a little lower in your chair. And go ahead and stand. Very nice. Shake those knees out a bit. If you need to move those ankles around, go ahead. We're gonna try that one more time. This time I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see me from a different perspective. Something that I want to focus on here is really sinking the hips back and down versus straight down. Because what I don't want is I don't want my knees to come over my toes. I want to keep my shins perpendicular with the mat. So planting my hand on a wall, going to extend my opposite arm out in front of me, putting some weight in my heels, I'm going to sink back. Lifting my toes up a little bit to make sure not too much weight is in my toes. Sinking down, lift my chest, really try to reach the top of my head up and relax. Nice job, everyone. Next, we'll be moving on to a figure 4. So, decide which leg you'd like to balance on first. I'm gonna take my right leg as my balancing standing leg. I'll plant my right foot, bend my knee a little bit here, grab onto a chair or the wall, and then just bring my opposite leg, so this is my right knee, I'm gonna bring it up to about hips height. Flex your foot a lot, so toes are coming back towards your face. Open your knee out to the side, cross your ankle over above your standing knee. So we're never gonna be on our knee here, we'll be more up at the thigh. Continue to flex your foot as you sink back into that chair. You'll feel a nice hip opener too on the knee that is bent and balanced. Take an inhale through the nose. See if you can go about an inch further. Straighten that standing leg. Remove the balancing leg. Very nice. Go ahead and shake those knees out. Now we're going to try that on the opposite side. This time I'll use the wall just to show you a different perspective. So my standing leg is going to be my left leg here. Right leg will bend at the knee, foot is flexed, bringing it up to about hip height before I cross it above my standing knee. Open your knee out to the side. You'll already feel it in your hip for sure. I like to extend my arm for more balance as I sink back into this figure 4. Move up a little bit so I'm not running into that chair. Sink back into figure 4. Open your knee out to the side. And release that. Really nice, everyone. We're going to take it one more step. So first we were in chair, then figure 4. Now we're going to go into eagle pose. So let's start by, I'm going to balance on my right foot again, my right leg. I'll bend my knee a little bit so my knee isn't locked out. Left knee will bend, come up to hip height. Left foot is flexed. Cross left ankle over right knee, but above right knee. This time I'm going to allow my left inner thigh to wrap around my right inner thigh. So here I am. My inner thighs are squeezing together. One knee is on top of the other. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can wrap your ankle around your calf. That is by no means necessary and certainly requires some more mobility in those ankles. So if it's not working today, it's something that can work in the future. From here, I'm going to sink my hips back as if I'm sitting in that chair. I can reach one arm forward. These are eagle legs. Really nice. Shake it out. Let's do it on the opposite side. I'll face forward so you can see a different view. Left knee is going to have a slight bend. Right knee comes up to hip height. Toes are flexed towards my face. Cross over like figure 4, but then I'm going to slide my legs together. Really squeezing those inner thighs nice and tight. I'll wrap my top legs, foot around my standing legs, calf, flat. And then slowly I'll sink my hips back. Eagle, legs. How does that feel? If you'd like to let go, you can try the balance here. Try to lift your chest, sink a little bit lower. Lift up, shake your legs out. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember that balance is always a practice.